Hey everyone, welcome back. In last video, we learned about the Chrome developer tools, or I can say Chrome developer options, right? In this particular video, we are going to see how we can put that knowledge into the work while doing, let's say, bug bounty or any kind of pen testing. Okay. So first thing we need is a browser because that's where we are going to open our Chrome developer tools. So I have Chrome browser opened right here. The website I'm going to use for testing is ruleout. .com. That's the website I'm going to use. So while the website is loading, let's do one thing. Let's right click on the screen and click on the inspect element. So that should open the Chrome DevTools, right? So let's do one thing. Let's refresh once again so that all of the files will be loaded in the Chrome Developer Tools also, or all of the requests will be visible in the Chrome Developer Tools also. So let's go step by step. Okay. First thing, click on the sources. So when we click on the sources, we can see the website files that we already run, right? But the good thing about the Chrome Developer Tools is it shows the website files as it is. I'm talking about folder structure also, right? So as you can see right here, the ruler.com is a news website. So can you see the breaking news title is there and some few posts are there about the news. Okay. But when it comes to the sources panel, can you see in the ruler.com session, we can see WP content and WP include files. Okay. Sorry, the folders, right? And when I click on that, it shows the plugins and the themes, right? So that means this is the WordPress website because only the WordPress website has a folder called WP content, or you can say WP include. So that tells a lot about the website. Okay. So let's do quickly one thing. Let's click on the plugins and let's see what we can see. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So can you see the website is using content form plugin, then Google Analytics plugin, then whatever it is, profile picture plugin, then simple share buttons and unlimited blocks and WP letters. So these are the plugins that the website is using. Okay. So from here, we have two ways to go. Either we can check the plugin files and debug those files or try to find bug in that particular file. Or what we can do is we can search online for, let's say, plugins names, and we can see if there is any existing vulnerability present in those particular versions of the plugin. Okay. So I know like the WordPress website is a quite fragile website and it has a lot of bugs and it is easy to let's say take over or hack, right? But try to understand that we are just trying to learn here something. Okay. So I'm trying to go with the WordPress website for this particular example, and later I'll change the website to the some React website or something. Okay. But let's try to understand which section of the, let's say, Chrome developer tool is helpful in which case. Okay. So let's go to the plugins. Okay. So we have contact form plugin. Okay. So as I said, what we can do is, let's say, we can say contact from 7 plugin, right? So when we do that, we should get something about the plugin. So can you see contact form 7 is right here. So we can say exploit. I'm not sure if Google will allow or not, but can you see right here the WordPress plugin content form 7.5.1.6 has a remote file upload issue. Okay, so we can exploit those existing issue. When I click on that, it will give me exploit ready to use right away, right? So that exploit can be used against that particular version. The version is 7.5.1.6. So let's do one thing. Let's go to the here and let's click on the contact form and click me on the JS, and can you see the version? It is saying index.js version 5.9.7 and this is for 5.1.6. Okay, so really close. If this website didn't have that particular plugin updated, then we would have able to exploit that particular bug on that website. Okay, and that's just a beginning. WordPress website is far more fragile, you cannot imagine. So let's say there is one more plugin. Obviously Google Analytics plugin will be quite up to date. So let's go ahead and let's try this one, profile picture plugin, or you can try this one. We have a lot of options. Basically you got the idea how we should function. We can target the website using plugins. We can target the website using either directly searching on the Google and finding the exploit, or what we can do is we can just click on the JS right here, and that will show you the JS code, and you debug yourself. You try to find the issue by yourself in this one. Okay, so yeah, that's all about the WordPress website site. Okay, so let's do one thing. By the way, you can learn read any JS file. So let me show you a quick thing. So when you click on this particular file, this file initially is not in the like this pretty syntax format. Okay, initially file looks like this, some junky file. Every single code is written in one line or two lines. So this is how it looks, but Chrome developer tools help us a lot. We can see right here there is an icon with the two curly braces. When we paste that icon, it will prettify the script. That means it will arrange that script in the basically in the proper order, you can say, or you can say proper syntax. Okay, so that helps a lot when it comes to the reading the script, debugging the script, and working with the script. Okay, so yeah, this is the sources, but there is a one interesting thing that we can do. When we click on the network panel, and let me filter out the request using fetch request. So because I want to just see the fetch request. Okay, so can you see there are some fetch requests that are being sent. So let me click on the response to check the response of each. And okay, so this looks little bit interesting. Okay, so now I want to find out from where this request is coming, or I want to find, let's say, what content is being sent from this request. So obviously I can click on the payload here and I can read the content, but most of the time if you go for pen testing, or let's say conducting some kind of web hacking on popular websites, they send encrypted data, so that if someone is sniffing, not all of them will be able to make sense out of that. Okay, so most of the time if you check some Google's request to send some data in the backend, either it is base64 encoded, or either it is encoded in some format, or it will be some organized in the way that normal people will be not able to understand. Okay, so I'm sure there will be Google's request here, because this website is doing Google Analytics. Okay, so Google Analytics is there. The payload is some uh, normal string, but can you see right here we have this particular ID, this particular G tag, and yeah, nothing much here, but sometimes this payload will be encrypted. Okay, so how we can make sense out of that in that case? So let's say you want to check content of this third website, third or fourth, this is one two three four, fourth request. So what you can do is you can click on the second request, and there is a one initiator right here, column one initiator is there. You can click on the initiator and it will take you to the code where this fetch thing is happening. So there is one more function in the Chrome developer tools. We can add the breakpoints. That means right here is the code which is responsible for sending that particular fetch request. Which one? This one. When I click on this one, it took me to this particular code, right? So what I can do is, in front of that I have this line here. I can click on that, and when it turns into the blue, or when it changes the color, that means website will stop executing JavaScript when this particular line is being executed. Let me show you how. So when I refresh the page, can you see the page is getting refreshed, but suddenly it stopped, and the message right here is paused in debugger, because the website executed everything, but when it comes to that particular line of code, it will just stop execution and it will wait for our input. So if I go to the network right here, can you see only three requests are being made? The fourth one is paused, because that's what we are trying to do. We want to check the contents of the fourth request and how the fourth request is being made. That's what we are trying to do. Okay, so in the sources panel, as you can see, everything is paused, and there is a one more thing. On the right hand side, can you see right here, we have this particular nice window in which we can check these variable values. Can you see the variable n has this particular object, and the r also has some kind of data, and that data is also visible in the here in the code, right? Can you see this red reddish background with some values in it. So that's exactly the values held in those variables, the e variable, the n variable, the r variable. In addition of that, what we can do is we can go to the console and we can just type r right here, and it will print the value held by r variable. Can you see right here? And exactly same value we will be able to see in the here also and here also. So that's the benefit of adding the breakpoints. And one more thing that we can do, so here either we can unpause and it will resume the whatever the website is doing and send the request and do whatever. But here is a forward function button is also available. That means just go one step forward and then pause. Okay, so let me click on that. When I click on that, we must have sent the fourth request. See, the fourth request is gone, but the code is again paused right here. It is not processing further. So let me click one more time here and it will process that particular request. Okay, so basically we are executing code step by step and observing the variable values to understand how the code is functioning. Because right now the code, can you see the code in everywhere in the code there is a variable called w, y, b, x, whatever it is, and it is not humanly readable easily, right? Because the code is minified, so that's why the variable names are changed and a lot of things are there. So basically this method helps us to understand behavior of the code even if the code is obfuscated or let's say minified. Okay, so let me click on the forward button once again and it looks like okay, the request is completed and the values are being added, and that's it. Okay, so yeah, this is how we can track the activity right here. The benefit of this is sometimes what happens, sometimes let's say okay, let's go to the code. Sometimes what happens, let's say the r variable is getting that particular value and the r variable is directly injecting that value into the DOM. Okay, so in that case if the r is not properly sanitizing the incoming message, then it might be possible that there is a issue which is DOM XSS vulnerability, right? We can inject the or reflected XSS, I'm not sure which one to call, but yeah, that issue can exist right here. Okay, so in that case it is really helpful these developer tools to identify those particular issue or exploit those particular issue, or let's say prepare the POC of those particular issue. Okay, so yeah, this that's all about this pause function. So when I click on this unpause, it will automatically unpause, and if I go here, can you see after that this request is made, this request is made. Great. One more thing, when we go to the sources panel right here, let's suppose I want to pause right here. What I can do is I can right click on here and here I can edit breakpoint. What is the edit breakpoint? Edit breakpoint means I can add a JavaScript code. I can just add JavaScript code and I can make sure like let's take an example. I can say that if variable e is true, then only block here or then only pause the execution here. Otherwise, just continue the execution of the code. There is one more thing. When you try to do something on website very first time, let's say you are auditing google.com and you are trying to vulnerability actively in the google.com. Sometimes in the console you see some errors, but you're not sure like what are those errors, right? How can I proceed with those errors? Because you know that you are lucky, you just landed on the Google and you accidentally saw something that you shouldn't be seeing in the errors, right, in the console, but you don't know how to how to proceed exactly, right? So in that case what you can do is, let's take example, this is the error we got. Okay, so say the service worker registered or whatever the error is there. Obviously this is not the error, but let's see, let's open any post right here and let's see if we are getting any error or not. So this is just an idea how you can go ahead and start auditing the website. Okay, but I have legal boundaries, so that's why I just stopped here. But you got the idea how we should use these particular tools and how we should be able to think, how we should think while doing this particular pen testing or while doing some kind of auditing. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this particular video. I hope you learned something valuable and I hope you will practice somewhere safe on your own website. Try to understand how things functions and try to understand how we can debug the code and how we can kind of reverse engineer the code and find the bugs in the website, right? So yeah, that's all for this particular video, and thanks for watching. See you in the next.